Hey everyone, Adrian Morrison here, and in this video, I want to talk to you about what I call split testing priorities. Now, this is something that I've been teaching my students now for over a year, and it's proven time and time again to really help you cherry pick where your buyers are, cherry pick your profits, and then throw away the scraps, throw away everything that is costing you money. What a lot of people don't understand is that if you don't split test properly, you are blind, right? So you're either losing money and you don't know it, or you're running a negative campaign, a campaign that is not giving you any return on investment that could be profitable if you followed my split testing priorities. Or you're running a campaign that's breaking even, meaning you are spending $100 and you're only making $100 back. So you're breaking even. If you're able to split test, it's like having really bad vision and then putting on a pair of glasses for the first time. You can finally see clearly, right? No more bumping into the wall, no more squinting to read and straining. You can see exactly what you're looking for, right? And that is where the money is. Who is buying, men or women? What age group? What type of phone are they using? All sorts of little things. So if you're not using these priorities right now, and you have campaigns that are failing or breaking even, I'm going to show you how to break those down and cherry pick exactly where your buyers are so you can throw away the scraps and quit wasting money. I mean, maybe you have a campaign right now that's 50% ROI, but if you were split testing properly, you could cherry pick where the buyers are, what demographics are buying, throw away all the rest, and turn that campaign into 100 or 150% ROI campaign. People always ask me, how is your ROI so high? How is your return on your investment so dang high? How are your profits so high? It's because I use my split testing priorities. So let's go over the 4 main priorities, and then we'll talk about a bonus. Priority number 1, we're going to split test keywords. We're going to split test our precise keywords versus our generic and broad keywords. We know that precise is going to convert better than broad. So that's a given for the most part. But we want to split test both because things aren't always what you think they would be. And a lot of people will dump precise and broad keywords into one ad and say, okay, well, I've got everything in here. Ugh, no, don't do that. Split them out, okay? One ad for your precise keywords and then another ad to your broad keywords. Priority number 2 is split test male versus female. I don't care if it's a generic or unisex product, okay? Men and women will always behave differently toward your ads. So you need to know who's buying more, men or women. I promise you it will always be different. You may find in some cases your ad is crushing it to females and your ROI and your profits are very high, whereas men aren't buying it all and they're losing your money. Well, you don't know that. If you're targeting men and women together in the same ad campaign, you have no freaking clue, right? You have no clue that that's costing you money unless you split it out. Priority number 3, mobile versus desktop. This is an important split test because people behave differently on mobile devices and desktop devices. Sometimes mobile devices don't convert as well because it's harder to browse around on their phone. Sometimes they convert better. You just never know, right? Priority 4 is age group. Age group is another priority. Different people of different ages, they're going to convert differently. You might be targeting 20 plus year olds, and the 20 to 30 year old people that see your ad are buying the heck out of your product. The 30 to 40 year olds are not. They're not buying anything. You're just wasting money targeting them. and then your 50 plus year olds are buying everything. So there's that one little group, those 30 to 40 year olds that aren't buying, that you're wasting money on. What if you could see that, right? What if you could look into your campaign and see that data and then turn off your ad that's going to that age group and just run an ad that's hitting the targeted age groups that are actually buying? You would increase your ROI like crazy through all of these priorities. And then we're going to talk about a bonus ROI squeeze. All right, now this is just getting nitty gritty because it's fun. And I'm going to show you something really cool. So first, let's talk about split testing your ad campaigns in priority 1. That is precise interests versus broad interests. And just so you know, an interest is a keyword. I call them keywords and interests. So here's one of my campaigns. If you look to the left where the green arrow is, you'll see that it says broad and precise. Now, if you look to the far right, you'll notice that the column with the broad keywords, the campaign going to a broad audience, is 1.1 million people. And the precise campaign that has only the unique precise keywords in it is going to 670,000 people. Your precise keywords are always going to have smaller audiences than broad because they're more passionate. So, they're just going to be smaller audiences. Now, what you're looking at in the center, in the blue box, is what's called my cost per conversion. Now, your cost per conversion is, in case you don't already know, is the average amount of money you spend on your ad before you generate a sale. You want this number as low as possible. The lower your cost per conversion is, the better, right? So if every time I spent $3, I generated a sale, I would double my ROI opposed to $6. So the lower your cost per conversion is, the better. And this is inside Facebook. This is Facebook ads. I'm looking at a campaign that I'm split testing. In the orange box is the amount of money so far I've spent on each ad. So I've spent $961 on the broad campaign, $1,100 on the precise. Okay, now both of them are profitable. I'm making good ROI on both ads. Where it says registration in the green box, that's how much money I've made, okay? So I've spent $961 on the broad campaign, and I've made $1,600. So that leaves me with about $700 profit, okay? $700 profit. That's good. I'm not crying. I'm not complaining, right? That's good. But look down there at the precise campaign. I'm targeting less people that are more passionate. They're more precisely targeted. And I've spent $1,100 to make $2,500. So I'm not that great at math, but I think that's around 150% return on my investment. About 150%, right? So, significantly higher than the broad campaign. Now, both of them are making me money, okay? But one of them is making me more than the other. In some cases, you might find the broad keywords fail and they lose you money. Well, if you've split them out into two separate ads, an ad for broad keywords and an ad for precise keywords, you can come into Facebook and go, oh, well, the broad campaign sucks. It's losing me money. Boom, and turn it off. Now, all of a sudden, you've done a 180 and your campaign goes from mediocre profits to really good profits. Now, why is that? It's because you were able to go in, see exactly where you were making your money and where you were losing money, if you are, and then turn off the ad that's losing you money because you've split it out. This isn't complicated. It just requires you make one extra ad, right? You make an ad for broad and an ad for precise interest. Simple as that. Now, if one of them is a loser, you can see and you can turn it off. So if you lump them together, one of them could eat away at all of your profits, right? and you would never know. You'd be blind because they're together, all mashed up into one. So separate them out. All right, now of course, like I said before, broad and precise interests should always be split tested because sometimes the broad keywords could be the better winning ones. Look at this. Here's another split test I did versus broad and precise keywords. The broad audience is hitting about 7 million people. The precise audience is hitting 3.2 million people. Look at this though. The broad audience has a cost per conversion of $527. I spent $2,300 to make $7,700. That ROI is freaking awesome, right? And the precise campaign is crushing it too. Its cost per conversion is just a little bit higher, $589. I spent $2,000 to make $5,600. This is a rare occasion, but it happens. And this is why you should always split test your ads between broad interest and precise interest. It's good to be able to see this type of stuff, right? Really good to be able to see this type of stuff. And you can identify where your winners are, your big winners are, and your losers are. All right, so that's it for priority number 1. I'm going to split each priority into its own video just to keep it simple. Remember, priority 1 is split test your broad keywords versus precise keywords. And sometimes you'll find one does better than the other. Precise is supposed to be better, but it is not always, as you can see in the screenshot right here. And I know that because I split test properly. Okay, that's it for this video. Go ahead to the next one and we'll go over priority 2, and I'll see you there.